This tutorial, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can edit your African folktale stories. Alright, so editing African folktale stories in such a way that when you upload it, you are actually going to be having a good number of views. Now, I'm going to walk you through the step you need to take in order for you to be able to edit your African folktale stories professionally. Creating African folktale stories is just as the combination of your AI images, your voiceover, and music for you to generate a video and upload on YouTube. So many people are actually having this issue of after editing the African folktale story, they upload it on YouTube and it's actually not having good number of views. Alright, so this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through the step on how you can create or edit your folktale story down to where you can now export it. So the first thing we are going to do now is for us to be able to open our CapCut. We are going to be using CapCut in doing all of this. So believing you've gotten some of the materials we are actually going to be using for creating the African folktale stories, such as your music, your voiceover, which is getting it from your script. Now, for you to be able to get your voiceover, first you need to get your script ready. If you are not a good script writer, you can give it to someone who is, and then you can just pay the person a little amount of money and then you get it. Or you can do well to check out Fiverr or Upwork, and then you can pay someone to get a good script for you. After that, then you can now make a voice recording of that script. So after you've done that, then we are now going to be uploading it on our CapCut. So we just create a new project and upload the voiceover we've made. So the voiceover I'm going to be uploading now, I didn't do it myself. It was someone I paid for a person to be able to create the voice recording for me. So after that, I'm now going to be working with it. So you can do well to import yours. Okay, so after you've imported yours here, this is mine. So this is just the first step we are going to take in for you to be able to get your voiceover first. All right, so we are not done. We are not just going to put in our voiceover here, but we need to edit it. Now, if you want to learn how you can edit your voiceover, you can just check out this video right up there. That video is going to take you through the step on how you can be able to edit your voiceover. But if you do not want to actually go through that stress of checking the video and coming back here, this is what we are going to do. We are going to be editing it using CapCut. So the first thing we are going to do now is for us to increase the volume. Yes, increase the volume to the highest. Then we are going to normalize loudness, and then the last one is to reduce noise. These are just the ones I'm going to be using. All right, so after this, we want to now work on our voiceover first before we can now move over to the next step. So working on our voiceover, this is just what we are going to be doing. So when we are playing the voice recording, we need to make sure that there are no mistakes in it. Now, what I mean is that any place you notice that there is not supposed to be a space there, you need to do away with it. Or a place maybe she repeated or he repeated that part, then you need to do away with the one that is not necessary. All right, so that is just a simple way on how you can actually edit your voiceover. Okay, so I'm just going to do that here and then I'll get back to you, so you can also do that to yours. Now I'm done with that here, and then I have edited my voice over. The next thing we want to do now is to start importing our images. Now, how do you get your images? Do you want to know how you can create best AI images? Check out the video up there. That video is just very simple, straight to the point. How can you create the best AI images for your African folktale stories? Check it out. You can do how to pause this video and check out that video. So it's going to walk you through the whole step on how you can do that. And not just there, how can you now actually convert it from the square to YouTube size? Okay, so you can just do how to check out that video. I made a video on that. Okay, so after you've done that, then you just need to make sure that you insert all of those images. They should actually fit your voice recording. Now, the more image you put on your African folktale story, the better the video. So you don't need to kind of like, I just need to extend this particular picture or image. I just need to extend it to be very long. No, you don't need to worry about that. You just need to make sure that you get as much images as you want. Now, some of you will be like, if I'm using Bing, because I do use Bing for my African folktale stories, if I'm using Bing, I just have 15 images to use. Okay, now this is what you're going to do. You are going to be signing up using different Gmail. That is just the easier way to do it. Or you can go ahead to pay for the Pro of Bing, which is you'll be having more number of images you can use. All right, it's either you create accounts with different Gmail or you go ahead and pay for the Pro. Either ways, you are going to still get what you want. So you just need to go ahead and keep binging. So the more you keep binging and the more you keep adding images to your African folktale story, the better the video. All right, so also remember that while you are creating African folktale stories, it should be at least, the length should be at least 10 minutes at least. So when you are having African folktale story of 15 minutes, 16 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it is actually better than having 8 minutes or anything below 10 minutes. So just need to make sure that your African folktale stories are more than 10 minutes or 10 minutes. So I'm just going to continue with this by inserting my images. All right, so if you should look at this now, you'll notice that in fact there are so many images here. I use so many images. In fact, what I actually did here was, if there is a scene, I'll make an image for that scene. Then if there should be another scene immediately after that, I'll create another image for it. If along the line in your African folktale story you got to a certain parts where you just need to put in an image for it to be long, maybe because of the discussion or whatsoever, now you don't need to actually make it boring for your viewers or for your audience. Now what you need to do is you click on somewhere close to the beginning of that image, like somewhere here. Look at this here. All right, so I'll just click somewhere here. I'll click on that image, then I'll come over to scale here, and then I'll click on this. I'll add keyframe. I'll add the keyframe here. Then I'll come somewhere towards the end here. I will increase the scale of this, and then I'll add another keyframe. Now this is it. So now the reason why I'm doing something like this is so that it does not, this part does not look boring to my viewers. So if I should come here and then I play something like this,
family with wealth and gifts of all sorts to the envy of the village.
Now if you should notice this, you see that it is actually zooming in. You see this, it's actually zooming in. Anytime you're having an image like this that is actually long, what you can do is just add a keyframe and then you use your scale so that it does not look boring to your audience. All right, so these are just some of the things you need to do. Okay, so now what we are going to do next now is to come over to the beginning of your African folktale story. Now at the beginning, if you notice, I did something here. Now let me show you what I did here. This is actually very, very important. In fact, so many people are doing this on African folktale stories and it's actually working. So at the beginning, if you notice, this is how it's going to start. If I should play this video from here, this is how it's going to start.
Wondering what kind of being Omolara has married to.
All right, so now looking at this, what kind of being Omolara has married to. So I didn't actually start this video from once upon a time. I didn't start it like that. I selected a part in the African folktale story and I copied it. I moved it to the beginning so that it will start with that one before the main video will start. So now doing something like this will push your audience to be like, what kind of being did she actually got married to? So something like that can push your viewers to, in fact, watch that video from beginning to the end because they want to see who Omolara got married to. So picking a part from your African folktale story and putting it at the beginning, it's very, very necessary. So after that, this was what I did next. Then this came out. Now the reason I'm putting in something like this is along the line in my African folktale story, I do not want to put in please subscribe, please like. I don't want to put that. Now I just want my audience to watch and enjoy my video. I don't want anything to break them along the line. So what I'm going to do is, after putting in that part that will motivate my viewers to keep watching my video, I just need to start it up with please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Then after that, I can now begin the video, and then from the beginning of the video down to the end, you won't find anything like please subscribe. So this is just, in fact, This is the best way you can actually edit your African folktale story. After you've done this, you've gotten your images using Bing. I'm going to be dropping the link in the description using Bing. Then what we want to do next now is to get our caption. Now we need to derive caption for our African folktale story. So this is the reason why I'm using CapCut, because I can easily get my caption. So if there's any other application or software that you are using and you can get caption, you can go ahead and use that. All right, so I can simply come over to my caption here. When I click on my caption, and then I'll click on generate, so it's actually going to generate my caption for me. And then I'm not just going to stop there, I'm also going to edit it, and I continue with my process. All right, so I'm just going to give it some time for it to generate the caption. All right, so after you've generated your caption, you are going to be deleting the one for the first part here. This part where we have our main part of our African folktale story being copied and pasted at the beginning. We're going to remove for this one, and then we are going to make sure we edit every single caption here. Don't worry, just take your time, edit it. You are doing it for the best, so just need to take your time, edit this. Now how can you do that? You just click on this, and then you come over to Once Upon a Time in the Ocean Village. This is it here, so you can follow along. Make sure that everything is being edited here, because CapCut is not going to give you everything correct. You just need to make sure you check everything before you proceed. Okay, so I'm actually done with mine. I've checked everything, I've worked on it, and I'm good to go with this. So I'm just going to scroll to the end. Okay, now at the end, if you notice, I didn't just stop here. I ended it with please subscribe. Now I did it at the beginning and I'm doing it at the end. Telling your viewers to subscribe to your YouTube channel is very, very important, because that is another reason why you're making those videos, for them to subscribe. And it is also the reason I am making these videos for you, because I want you guys to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, so believing you subscribe to my channel, now let's continue with this. Okay, so after you've gotten the caption and you've edited it, now we need to move over to the next and the last process in editing our African folktale story. So doing or editing African folktale story can take you days. You just need to take your time and make sure you bring out something really, really nice. So the last thing we are going to do now is to add our music to this. So you can do well to check out the music. I'll be dropping the link in the description. You can check out YouTube Studio Musics. Okay, so I'm just going to import mine. The one I'm actually using in I love to use is this. I use it for all my African folktale stories. Nature Nurture, that's the name. So I prefer to use it. If you notice, I'm not going to be starting this music from the beginning here. No, what I just want here is the image and then the voiceover for this part. Then I'm going to start the music from here. This is where I'm going to start the music from. Okay, so I'm just going to be putting this music. I'm just going to edit it so that it can start from here. Okay, so after that, I'm going to duplicate it for the rest part. Then I can now duplicate this by copying and pasting it. So I can do well to duplicate it down to the end. All right, so when you've done that towards the end, what you are going to do here is for you to split this part. I'll split it, I'll delete here. Then this one I'm having here, I'm going to be putting in fade out. This is the fade out here. Just going to add it up, add the fade out, good, so that it ends well. All right, so this is just my African folktale story. So one last thing we need to do before we are done with this, and then we can move over to exporting, is transition. It is very, very important. Transition is very, very important. So this is what we're going to do now. We'll come over to this part here, we click on this, we move over to transition here, and then we are going to be using mix. This is it here, mix. I'm going to be adding it. I'll click on this. After you've added it here, you don't need to maybe start clicking and adding it to all of them. All you just have to do is to come over to this part and then you click on apply to all, and then it's going to apply this transition to all of them. I'm going to be deleting the first one here. I don't need it for the first one, and the second one I don't need it. I need it from here. So this is just my African folktale story, and then do not forget your music. You need to lower the volume. You can just click on it and then reduce the volume so that it does not affect your voiceover, so they can hear your voiceover very well. So this is just the simple process on how you can edit your African folk story. Like I said, the more you generate images, the better the video. So you just need to keep generating more images. You don't need to make your image too long and then it does not fit what you are saying in your voiceover. Okay, so this is just a simple trick on how we can do this, and then I'm going to be uploading this video when I'm done. So you can do well to check out the video on Beth James Folktales. That is where I upload my African folktale story. So you can do well to check it out. I'm going to be dropping the link in the description also. You can check it out from there. Alright, so guys, this is just all we're going to be taking. Do not forget, please and please hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to be dropping more and more tutorials like this. So hit the subscribe button, and then in my next tutorial I'm going to be showing you how you can give the best prompts. How can you give the best prompt for you to be able to generate the perfect image for your African folktale story? Sometimes you might generate a prompt and in fact it does not fit and it does not give you what you really want. But how can you generate the best prompt for you to be able to give you what exactly you really want for your African folktale story? Alright, in our next video we're just going to see how we can do just that. Alright guys, so like I said, hit the subscribe button and then I'll see you guys in our next video.